Hi, and we're off. Welcome to ARC, everyone. Um, so it'll be just me commentating today. We have a Atlantic League game, Ted versus Scott. Without any bias for those of us who might have kicked me out of the ITSL playoffs, I may or may not be going for this one. For Ted. And we are off. I apologize that you guys are stuck with me today and not with Justin. But beggars can't be choosers. Take what you guys can get. So, we are Ted. Pretty solid hand, all things considered. I think you go with defectors, um, and then consider trying to hold containment through to the next turn if you can. So I think we're just resizing the screen a little bit. And hopefully we'll be off. I'm sure. And there we go. And we're playing Twilight Struggle. Oh, excuse me. I think we would see a 4-4-2 here. I don't think there's any need to get fancy on this. Um, and let's see if he goes defectors. I could obviously see the reason why he might go containment, but I personally think defectors makes more sense because we prefer to catch like Vietnam. This is interesting. Ted did the 4-1-3, which screams defectors. And Scott got caught up with it. So 4-1-3 is like as defectory of a defector tell as you can get. So that was really ballsy by Scott, which I almost don't agree with. I think it was Cesar or Cesar headlined like Middle East scoring as the US into or as the USSR into a US player who set up like that. I think it was Hassan. Um, yeah. Headlining decal into 4-1-3, it seems pretty weak, if I'm going to be honest. So, and it looks like a little slow playing here. Really not much going on. But, you guys got me, and I have you. So, I have my cat knocking shit over. That's just my wallet. So it looks like Scott might have not had a lot of ops here. Rolls, we don't see the number because this is lagging, but we could tell that it missed. So we'll take that. Um, And now it looks like, oh, it's going for the middle ops and clears him out of Iraq. Woof, woof, woof. So if I'm Ted here, if Bot doesn't enter South Korea, I'm inventing the war. I'm going for South Korea. It's like, because even if you lose the war, Scott's kind of shown that he has a very weak hand and probably doesn't have four ops to then dump into South Korea to follow it up. So I think inventing the war is just a great idea. Oh, but he's dropped. So that's why Scott was, I guess, driving the DEF CON down was to get D-Cell off. But Ted gets South Korea, and maybe he can hear me. Ooh, I doubt it. But glad to know that we are agreeing on that. Um, yeah, so it seems like kind of just like you should put one in Afghanistan, get access. He does, and he spreads in case of funky realigns. I don't like containment here. What are you doing, partner? What are you doing? Like, you should really be yeah, yeah. You really should be considering holding containment. Lebanon, Libya, France. I understand why Jordan, but I don't like it. Iraq and Iran, Iraq and Saudi are costly. You're probably going to lose the race to Iran because that's probably where Scott was going to get presence regardless. So unless you're going to use the ops to break it, I mean, you're like you'd want to get Europe to fight, France to three, well, four, probably four at least. Libya makes sense. Now you're kind of locked in where you'd have to go like UN or Cambridge to Iraq, and then the other one to poke, and then you're not filling Europe unless you're going to use Japan. But like, you really have to use the four right now. I mean, I guess if you could poke Thailand, you should. But like, what Japan to double poke like Iran and Thailand is not great because you're just. I mean, maybe that gives you a coup into South America. So now France feels a lot better, obviously, that we've seen De Gaulle. Um, I like, yeah. So you do go in Iraq, but for the poke, and then if that lets you steal the coup, you can possibly get into South America, which would be useful. Or you just like walk, right? Like threaten. There's just like I guess a lot of threats you could make. Spaces EEU. No. At least one goes Colombia. I still think holding containment was the right choice. Let's see our hand. And containment would have gotten at you 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. that bad. Um, so you want it's interesting, right? Plus, if you get purged, like a good chance you're getting purged here. So only Suez. I would consider Europe and saving the ops. I don't think Duck is worth as much as a coup. I honestly think Iran was a better poke. Right? Like poking Iran gives you access to PAC. So if you did Iran Colombia, you would need four a four op to just close off Pakistan, Iran, and Venezuela, which gives you the coup in Brazil. Which means he probably doesn't close off Iran. Now he'll close off both of those and fix Thailand. You're gonna have to take a big swing with Marshall. I guess like that's why he headlined Decall because he knew he had D-stall, so he'd still be able to maybe pick up Thailand. But like, ugh. I just don't like it into 413. I feel like a 413 is just like so obvious. You could have D-stalled at DEFCON 4 there pretty easily, knowing that you had Marshall to follow it up with France unfilled. I say D-stall, I meant decalled. I'm not sure what you were going to headline though. I can't think of this hand too well. Maybe Fidel. Just take Cuba. Definitely need another coffee. I'm yawning. Those early Saturday mornings, waking up, bringing you some Twilight Struggle action. Um, oh, Scott usually isn't this slow. Go, Ted, go. I don't, honestly, it's just, should be Thailand, Venezuela, Colombia. Or Thailand, Venezuela, Brazil. Eh, if you're going to try and country count, then you have to take Vietnam. Because if not, I think Scott on country count should be doable as long as he has some mobs. It's 4 to 4, that's 5. I think becomes ahead on countries if his ops to fill up Asia. I honestly don't understand the one India. Why not just cover off Venezuela? Yeah, like this is where why would you just blocking it off with Ted blocking off the Asia Dom with just one country? It makes sense. Because that was going to be what happens. If you want to make a move, you have to block it off with two countries. Just going to repair. He's just going to, like, you don't control the scoring. That's the fundamental problem here. This line of play doesn't work because you don't control the scoring. Take Vietnam, take Indonesia, and break. That says, okay, we're going to move away from Asia because unless Scott's going to use China, he's not going to be able to get close to. He's not going to be able to country count. This just becomes on action round. Scott takes Asia Dom and just uses ops to fix things. One action round where Ted blocks. Ted needs to block it so that he can. And they consider trying to hold. He can fix things, but not take Asia. Okay, so he's out of ops unless he takes Vietnam, and then you're going to have to use a 3 to flip it. Ah, man, just take Vietnam, dude. Very. Okay, we're good. Anyway, I'm not liking this line of play by Ted. I think Ted could have done a much better job here. You have to take Vietnam. Yeah. Now, yeah, you're realizing I don't have a choice. I have to do this. Yep. Good. And Asia drops for 2. I have no idea where that op went. France maybe to 5? I game lagged. No clue. No clue at all. Maybe Italy? Oh, Italy to 4. Yeah. Thank you, Yared. Yeah, no, I guess he put Italy to 4 just because socialist back in the deck. And yeah, Libya feels good. And then probably a Brazil break, AR7 with Formosan. Yeah. I think you ignore it. I think you break Brazil. Yeah. I think you're breaking Brazil or you're taking Libya and maybe adding one more to Iraq or something. Um, the stream has paused because you have minimized your application. Garib, the stream. I apologize for the technical difficulties. And we're back with a reshuffle. NTB and Natao. What a hand. What a hand indeed. Holy cow. That is sick. That Effector's reshuffle, usually very strong. So Ted going into a really good position into the mid-war. Scott, not so much. I still think Ted could have done a much better job with Asia. And I also honestly think that Scott could have done a much better job with Asia. Basically, whoever was going to take Vietnam was going to get Dom, and they both just let it sit there. So bad on everyone. So Purge gets defected. Scott probably is like, yeah, damn. The thing is, even if you're purged on this hand, it's like it goes from just being what I would say a pretty good hand to like an average hand. So not much for Scott to or Ted to worry about. So who wins Japan? Marshall. A little redraw. Fixes and moves to Uruguay. And South Africa. So South Africa makes a lot of sense because he was going to get Coot in Angola. He would get Coot out of the region. Think about how much better position Scott would have been in had he not headlined Decull into a 4-1-3. Just saying. Not crazy about that, but if you're rolling big alpha day, does it really matter? So Scott takes the bottom half and takes the top half. Oh, we need more espresso. We're doing this at 8 a.m. Pacific. After alcohol on Fridays. Waking up early enough to make breakfast and doing this. We're going to be watching this from a distance from the espresso machine. It looks like we have China to South America and to pick up Libya. So I'm definitely not card tracking. But yes, Scott's hand is lacking a bit. You don't actually have to take Argentina flat out there, right? You could have just, as long as you got one in to get Coot in Uruguay, it would have been fine. Truman, Vernal. Maybe Syria to set up domination? Or Chile to get. Okay. So I don't think it makes sense for Ted to try and fight that because Nasser will let you pick it up. I don't think I would fight this one, but maybe that's just me. Because Egypt's done more, then you're going to dump another 3 in. Take Saudi. And then you're starting to run low on ops, and Algeria and Mexico are still sitting okay. I don't know. Maybe. The thing is, like, there's not much for Scott on the board, whereas there's a lot for Ted to do on the board. Um, Good op trade off, but again, that being said, Ted knows more about Scott's hand than I do, and Ted might be thinking, "Oh, he's very low on ops and won't be able to fight this." You could still use, I guess, Olympic and AI to pick up Algeria and Mexico. I'm gonna guess one and Chile or protects Angola. Also very reasonable. No, not can. Why? What? No, just hold containment through, buddy. That's a great hold card. Algeria, Mexico. All of it. Yep. South Africa's good because it's contested. I think making sure Mexico's filled up so that you can't like lip Theo in and take it, or Junta in to just take it. And as for the event, Scott, who's Colombia here? Yeah. Mill ops. Big five. Big five. Which does get Scott some options in South America, some like long-term options. If he ends up having Colombia at five in Uruguay, um, there's stuff that could be done to flip the region. That being said, um, I do not want to be Scott right now going to the mid-war. No sirree. All right, Ted. So Ted's decided that he's going to play on easy mode today. Um, this is definitely what we call easy mode. So, fucking wild. ABM Junta VOA turn 4. Wild. Absolutely wild. And Sadat to take Egypt. Middle East unscored. Just like a dream come true. Ed is rolling very well today. Ed's rolling as well as Scott usually rolls, actually. Zaire coup is like what, a 5, Angola is 6, Brazil a 5. Ed is it's their play deck today. I'd like to say I feel bad for Scott, but I don't. Which is why I love commentating his games because I get to be salty in them still. So here we are. We got more espresso and life is good. If anyone's wondering, Kicking Horse from Canada, it's a ski resort up in the Canadian Rockies. They make a great coffee. You can buy it on Amazon in the US. It's pretty cheap, $30 for 2 pounds, and it's delicious. So Scott opts to flip Panama and take move into Chile so that he can't be booed out, but little does he know it could be VOA'd out. I think you VOA him out of like Uruguay, Argentina, Chile, with Junta to put you in. Yeah, yeah, yep, yep. Scott probably being like, "Oh my God, what else does he have in store this hand? Like, what a perfect hand." And he's gonna see Junta and be like, "Flip table emoji." Also, Ted's super happy that he drew decall and can send that bad boy off to space. Suist, you you could easily eat it, except you can't fix both Israel and the UK, so you probably want to vet Sadat before you fix it, or you get it off. Um, and then Summit is your extra op there, which is lovely. To Argentina with like some Mexico real lines. Colombia coup just to like get it down from 5 to like 2 or 3. There's just so much. And here's the coup. Brazil or Zaire? Scott rolls fives also. So Scott did not forget how to roll. Rough Mexico. Sure. Sure, sure thing. Yeah, I agree with that more because you probably want to save those ops for post junta. So I agree. I don't think there's a rush on Algeria anytime soon. If I'm Scott, I had some good ops. Good Tunisia secondary threat on the board would be nice, but I just don't know where. Oh, Nigeria. That's your secondary threat. Why didn't I think of that? So now not filling Algeria seems kind of stupid. I just don't know if you need to go to Uruguay with having Junta in hand. But because what ops are you gonna like? Are you what? I don't think I like it. Unless his plans to play China. It was just so unnecessary with Junta to walk into Uruguay. I don't like that. So it looks like Ted Livermore has failed and flunked out of the Scott Senen School of Playdeck with a 1. So Scott will pick up Nigeria as a consolation prize. Yay! Consolation prizes. Participation trophy. You're bad, but you know, you tried. Ugh. Scott's definitely in trouble when the scoring start coming out. Oh, the Willie. It's that Willie in there. Overprotects Anima from the canal. Pieces Usuri. That's the VP shot. Probably see a counter space right away. Yep, success, no double space action for anyone. Then AR7 Suez. Which Scott should take to Israel to UK because he can't fix both. Ooh. 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 We love to see it. We love to see it. That forces him to give up Dom. Scott battling hard to have some foothold in South America after being VOA'd out. What the fuck? I understand wanting to take domination, but like I don't think you can do that by and like just possibly completely give up Argentina. I really don't like that. Um, Africa's safe. Africa's safe except for a brush war on Nigeria, on Angola. Central is also safe from Dom. Yep. And Fidel would just cost you 2 PP. Oh, I don't like that. Definitely not in love with shuttle. That's a good. That's 3 ops. That's 3 ops when you're holding 2 score rings. Granted, you'll almost surely be able to get Central off for free, but if I'm Scott, I'm gonna fuck around in Africa with 1 min. Is a 4, 2 Argentina, 2 South Africa. Just give up a coup though. Maybe you can't do that. Maybe you actually have to drop the DEFCON here. But Tina is also very important. Hard to say. Very hard to say, actually. Also go for Guatemala and take a swing at Mexico if Scott has massive pair of balls. They're just dragging along the floor right now. It means you need 2 successful rolls though, so I'm not crazy about it. Hitting a 6 or a 5, maybe a 6, 5, maybe a 4 on Argentina with Gumman would make it. You can pick up South Africa. Then he's gonna pick up Botswana. Then you're gonna have to be super annoying to not give him up, give him any tempo opportunities to realignment. Uh, no, I don't think CMC's a good headline here. Because you're just voluntarily giving up Argentina and calling it a day. Oh, wow. You ballsy motherfucker. Scott Senen. Balls of steel. We love it. Well, I'm kind of secretly rooting for Ted, but I do like ballsy plays like that. Um, Scott Senen still the professor at the Senen School of how to roll really, really well in Twilight Struggle. And it's not a school built for ants, if anyone was wondering. It's a full-size school. It doesn't have to be nearly 3 times as big. If you're old enough and you get the reference, fantastic. And there goes Argentina, I think. Why wouldn't you use CMC? Why do you gotta use China? I don't understand that. Well, teach their own. I don't think you really needed that forethought. So, do you Kennedy Africa? Government's gone. It's the only bad scoring. Dump suck govs with it, which is like not great. But CMC's going in. A little South America control action. Not just being annoying. But Ted running low on ARs. I think if you're going to Kennedy Africa, you Kennedy Central with it. There's not that much bad red. There's like what? Muslim Rev, We'll Bury You, Our Power. All the fours actually are out there. Che. Theo's gone. De Gaulle is in the deck, I think. Decal's gone. Green CRG are in along with Brush. Sure, there's some red I'm not thinking about, but I feel like that's kind of the important ones. It's out there. And India looks weak. There goes the canal. Okay. Scorings. Socialist. So CRG, Bear Trap, and an active kitchen instead. I call that a pretty decent trade-off, I have to say. So as we can see there, Scott actually knows how to event arms race properly. Where you need the required mill-ups and to be ahead to get all three. Whereas if you're ahead and don't have the required mill-ups, you only get 1 point, which no one here would know anything about. Couldn't tell you whatsoever. I guess I just realized that I haven't even looked at the ARC chat at all. Maybe I'll go down and come say hi. Coup action. Quality roll. Oh, cat. Here. Come here, kitty. If you're Scott and you have no cards really that are going to help shift the board makeup, what do you do? Need a big brush war on something in South America, probably Brazil, maybe help you flip the region. But at the same time, Italy obviously looks great. Um, but I don't think you can really afford VP to South America. My cat. Not missing much. Or ad. Maybe getting ready for Muslim Rev. Breaks Dom. So we love that. And then Scott steals the coup for turn 6. As we see like a quack headline, it's like a Spider-Man pointing at each other meme. So Ted keeps picking up the scorings. That being said, 2 scorings he's super stoked to see. So no problems there. Feels like Bear Trap active. CRG looks like a no-brainer here. India's unfilled. Yeah, CRG just feels really great. I think you go Lao Burma, um, Nigeria, Algeria. Feels good to me. Oh, Scott, take longer. Ah, did get the quag. Boom. Quag. Quag. There you go. And do we leave the trap? Puppet subs. Oh, all good thing. All good twos. Oh, Alliance for Progress, but he doesn't get off the roll. Also means that he probably doesn't have the twos because AFP could go to space. Um, all doesn't seem that bad. Get. I feel like I would give up to. Oh boy, Scott, this is the problem. You roll too well. You roll 5 or 6s all the time. You also roll them when you're in the trap or the quag. Honestly, I feel like I would have cooed Algeria there because you could just takes less ops to Algeria because it takes less ops to flip Nigeria. A big roll is wasted. Personal opinion. It feels like it's all 10 all day. Oh, there's even a little Atlantic League thing, except the Atlantic League is in the Pacific. Should have tried to put that in Atlantic. Huh? Um, Got probably thinking I'm probably kind of fucked on this one right now, but you know, our power, Muslim, Che. I mean, just don't see how you're going to break into South America, and Africa long term is now looking pretty terrible because our boy Ted here is rolling relatively well. The Shin setting up for a big Muslim rev. It's actually funny because I've done this. I can't remember who it was against, maybe Hassan, and I just completely bluffed him out. Like was like, I'm gonna just pretend like I have Muslim rev when I did not have Muslim rev. Well, Cesar, it's bad for I think you just guess, yeah, maybe so that you could realign Angola. Waiting until post-Muslim Rev to play Camp David, most likely. Not going for the coups, just see. I'm telling you, if you this is the fundamental problem with it is you bluff it out, and then it becomes like more useful to just not vent it. I think. Scab on my knees. Itchy. Not that you guys probably care all that much, even if you should. Like you guys know about my life a bit. Scott still doesn't have mill ops. That seems like a problem, considering Jay got used for U ops. Isn't the goal gone? Crazy? No, goal's gone. US and socialists are not in the deck. I guess he's scared about the redraw. See, I'm telling you, it's the Muslim Rev fake out. Oh, Teddy, Ted, Ted. The fact is you still have to force it because if not, that happens. Ted has four ops in his hand. Did two of them are not exactly what I'd call playable unless he picks up UN. She does not. UN would be sick. I forgot how sick UN would be because then you could headline Wheelberry to just drop the DEF CON, UN Muslim, and then just have go with this hand. Ted, don't fuck this one up. What are you brush warring? Maybe something in the Middle East? Maybe Thailand? Oh, obviously it's Thailand. Obviously it's Thailand. Okay, folks. We're having a little chatting intermission. Just has so much of this board he has to fix, come back from. I just don't see it, especially if this is a three or up on Thailand. I feel like I've only seen Brush War fail so many times recently. I feel like I've seen so many ones and twos with Brush War, it's like, it feels dirty. Who's Argentina with it too? Feels like that was kind of desperate. If I'm Scott, I think you're dropping Middle East right away. Although Algeria is hanging, so I think Algeria is a higher priority. Yeah, I agree with that. Scott have the ops deal with it. Contested India. I forgot Scott was under Brezhnev. Being under Brezhnev and being able to take Saudi and Algeria, no problem, and OSS being a three makes a lot more sense with this turn so far. The little icon is missing, certainly. I'm definitely trying to make a game out of it here, but like it's turn four just really turned the board upside down. Oh, oh boy. Ted's going for the kill shot here. It's going for what, a 5 or 6 VP Asia. India. Then one card we all fear. Oh, in slow motion. That's a kill shot. A Call of Duty headshot. Boom. Scott goes from some space VP and fails. I think you scored Asia here. 5, 6, 6, 5, 5. Well, I doubt this gets past turn 8. With no red dominations on the board. Pips. I really remember seeing how I learned that. That was a interesting choice of puppets. I was just catching up on my Discord. We wait. Oh, cool, just jam Panama, dude. If that's all right, guys. So thank you everyone for coming out to watch and listen to ramblings of a madman. Congratulations to Ted for his play deck victory. It really showed how to draw cards this game. Very impressive, very impressive. More power cards. Fantastic. Good job, Ted. Love it. That will more or less be it. Thank you for tuning in to some Atlantic League struggle. It's definitely a pretty stacked league. So hopefully there will be more games that we could broadcast, whether over ARZ or on Justin's channel or maybe mine. To keep giving you guys a little bit of Twilight Struggle action. So that's it. That's all, everything. Luck to everyone in the ITSL season. I think I played the first game of the season this year. I'm pretty stoked about that one. Should be an award. Maybe I could speedrun Tassos. We'll see. Probably not. All right. Thank you, Yarib, for hosting. And see you all next time.